And I think in one program we played the Art of Food as part of that series. That was on Pollini's perspective.
Yeah, that was another one.
That was an interesting experience too. That was a few years earlier, where Maurizio Pollini was curating a perspective series, and on the second half we played Opus 130 with the grosse fuga. On the first half we played about half or maybe 60% of Bach's Art of the Fugue, and that gave a very different feeling to the performance of the grosse fuga, because you saw the tradition from which Beethoven was coming and against which he was rebelling, in a way. And in fact, in his heading in the score, I think this was in the published score in the first edition, he said in French, tantôt libre, tantôt recherché, which means sometimes free, sometimes researched or script, sometimes studied. So the grosse fuga is a kaleidoscopic combination of tradition and smashing boundaries at the same time. And somehow he manages to pull it all together. And then the contrast emotionally between the almost dangerous intimacy of the cavatina, which precedes the grosse fuga, and they share a little bit of motivic material. And then the fugue itself, it just gives you an idea of the emotional and intellectual range that Beethoven was capable of. So these are just two examples out of this whole canon of Beethoven quartets. It's the kind of emotional and one may even say spiritual nourishment that musicians can derive from playing this repertoire that keeps string quartets going, keeps us performing together, living parallel lives, living with each other, sharing this music, and going through all the stages of our lives. So you ask, how have we made a journey with this music? Part of the journey is personal. We've all had losses, personal losses during the time, well, at least the three of us during the time that we've been playing all these Beethoven quartets. And we've witnessed the birth of children. Again, when Paul joined the quartet, his two daughters, lovely daughters, had already been born. And, so it's a little different, but for the rest of us, we had our children during our active career. And as Larry said, Beethoven was always there during our career from almost the very beginning. The whole cycle, or various combinations, the late Beethoven's combined with late Shostakovich, or these middle Beethovens combined with Bartok quartets. We've also had Schubert and Beethoven. Yeah, so we've looked at Beethoven through many different angles.